Hoi, hoi, hoi. Just thought I'd plug my buddy old pal, Mark's Pigskin Podcast. Let me just read a few of the latest episodes out. The most recent episode came out on Friday. Not sure what that fucking date was, but it's week 4, 2015. Mark and James give you a special preview of the first NFL International Series matchup between the Jets and the Sharks. Sorry, no, not the Jets and the Sharks. The Jets and the Dolphins at Wembley, as well as a look ahead to the rest of week 4's games. There's also a plotted history of the two London-bound teams and another edition of Play Your Stat Card Right. That's cool. I know Mark has recently just been to the Wembley game. I think it was between the Jacksonville and the Miami Dolphins, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think that was the two teams. So expect in the episode after that a cool review of the game. So yeah, that's Pigskin Podcast, Mark Payne, Pigskin Podcast, and it's on iTunes. Give it a listen. Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the latest episode of the Can't Be Asked Podcast, the CBA Podcast. Today we've got the part 2 of the Blatella interview, which I really enjoyed doing. And we've got a little bit more. I've got what I was doing 10 years ago, 2005. I've extracted some data from my social database, and I'm going to just get to that in a minute. But I was listening back to some of my podcasts, and I found that I'm not very good at the whole talking thing. I mean, it is a bit weird. I'm sitting here in my dining room talking to a machine. It's a bit unnerving. I mean, I'm not someone who's on the radio. I'm not someone who's a public speaker. I don't really do much speaking unless I'm face to face with a friend. So this is quite weird. I would say I'm a better interviewer. But then no, because I get all the facts wrong. I do research, but then I forget research, and then I just dribble on, much like the first episode of the podcast. Of the Blatella interview, full of incorrect historical shit about Ben and Nat. But I think what I'll need to do, this one might be slightly better because I've got some notes. I've taken some notes. I mean, I should have really been doing some work, but no, I made some notes for this episode of the podcast. What's the date today? 5th of October. 5th of October. Just got back from the gym with Mr. Paul Hamlet. Had quite a good evening. Had a good chat with him. Last time I saw him was last Saturday, because we went to the Fobbing pub quiz. We didn't win, but it was good fun. Good couple of beers. Good walk home as well. It's 40-ish minutes, but it's a good walk home. So I had a good chat with him today. Anyway, I'll get on with the part 1 of the podcast, which is the notes from what I and a couple of other people were doing this time, 2005, so 10 years ago. Let me read this to you. I'll just put this down, so I don't have to hold it. Okay. Actually, let me just point out, I've not read this myself, so I don't know how good or bad this is. These last few days have been really weird. It's been a few days since I wrote in here. That's my online diary land. I was thinking about if people will ever find... actually, hold on. I've got the wrong one here. But anyway, I'll carry on. I was thinking about if people would ever find this out. I know if someone else had one of these, I'd probably find it. Exactly the way that people can find out about this. This is just a diary land entry. Anyway, back to this week. Tuesday, Lisa came round, played some guitar. Did she? Back knows. Went on the computer, had a good time. Tommy texted Lisa, and then for some reason I felt really guilty. I mean, I've nothing to be guilty about. Nothing has happened, and nothing will happen. But I know that if it was the other way around, I would be a bit pissed off too. So it would appear that I felt a little bit guilty that Lisa, who was with Tommy at the time, was around my house and not with him. I can understand why I would have felt guilty back then, but it's not like anything was happening. But anyway, yesterday I found out something that I didn't know but worry me. I think I was supposed to say but worried me. But he seems okay in front of us, but what I've heard, not without us. Okay. There is something suspect in the back of my mind about it. Plus, also, a big thing that I don't understand about it. Fucking hell, why didn't I just say what it is? I don't even know what this is. Why me? ? That's what I don't understand. Why is it so hard to tell me, and why does he want to tell me? Not that I don't want to know. Well, I don't want to know. Oh, I'm confusing myself. Yes, I was. What I mean is that if he wants to tell me, then he can. Otherwise, God, my punctuation. Jesus. What I mean is that if he wants to tell me, then he can. Otherwise, it's not my business, and I'm not going to ask. Damn, that's fucked up. I really don't know what the fuck this is. Tommy came round mine as well. We played some guitar. We were talking about literally everyone in the group. Not like talking behind their backs or anything. Yeah, talk like I'm from the ghetto. I mean, we weren't having a go at them. Just things we had noticed. We had the same thing in common about Anna. I've not specified what that is. Fuck knows. The conversation of Lisa came up, and we were both understanding about it, which was good. We got things off of our chest. What? Off of her chest? We got things off of her chest. I don't remember doing that. Anyway, we invited Mark out, and he didn't turn up, strangely. Okay. Had a burger each. Burnt Tommy some CDs of my stuff, and he went home. That day I got Kylie a book off of eBay. Strangely, Adam opened it. I'm going to have to tell him to stop opening my mail. I went and delivered it round our house. We had a talk about things, which was where the confusion came up. Got me thinking. Ooh, maybe this is referencing the previous bit where I said, damn, that's fucked up. But anyway, she was really happy that I got her that book. What fucking book did I get her? Anyway, normally people would be happy about something, but she was really happy, which made me smile, because I made her smile. Okay. It was like I'd given her a cheque for £1 million. She was really happy about that book. Fucking hell, what book? Fucking hell. Oh, I've just written down what I just said. Fucking hell, the book. It was like the first edition of it. It's like 1894 it was published. Bloody hell. After leaving Kylie's, I went to Steve's house. We talked about sofas and microphones. I discovered the Sofa King joke. Bah. I brought up with Steve what I brought up with Tommy. What about Lisa's chest? About doing a live session. They both seemed happy to do it. Steve wanted to buy a proper mic for it though, which I know is not necessary. My mic is fine on its own. No, it wasn't. Shit. It was shit. So, I'll take that back. So, live sessions, volume 2 will be happening soon. That's me doing the impression of a tumbleweed. 10 years later, this hasn't happened. Today, got to college, had geography. I don't understand how interesting the geography lessons are. What? Oh, whatever. I think of them and think, oh no. Man, I'm such a good writer. But in them, I get so into the lessons. Opposed, with an A, opposed to this one, where I'm always doing diary entries. So maybe this was my IT lesson. Got into college, saw Lisa. She seemed a bit on edge for some reason. She wanted to wear my ring again, so I gave it to her. Yeah, Lisa occasionally my onyx ring, she used to like to wear it. I'm not sure why. Where are we? I've just fucking lost it now. At break time, she did not seem happy at all. Her and Tommy didn't at all, which I didn't understand. I mean, I'm probably being paranoid, but it might have been about me. Actually, it probably wasn't. I mean, it shouldn't, 'cause me and Tom had a good talk, and we seem on good terms. Fucking hell. I went to lesson. Lisa wanted to give me back my ring, but I was in lesson, so I told her to give it to Nathan. Nathan texted me and said that he had it, but Lisa was crying for some reason. I don't understand why. Plus, I have no credits. And Jesus, mate, pay as you go. I have no credit, so I can't ask her. I'll have to wait until I get home. Most probably going out tonight. We'll eat first, though. Hungry. That will do for now. Yeah, I remember Nathan and Jess actually talking about that. Nathan and Jess came up to me and was like, "What the fuck have you done to Lisa?" I was like, "What? Why did she come over to us crying?" I was like, "Fucking nothing to me." It might have been something to me, I don't know. But I certainly didn't do anything to make her cry. Okay. That was one of my diaries. I did have multiple diaries in case people didn't know that. Let's just... Okay. This is my regular diary. This was published a year ago, 10 years ago tomorrow, so it obviously would have been about today. 10 years ago. Just going to move this mic away because my old shitty laptop is starting to sound like a fucking Hoover. So hopefully that didn't ruin that last little bit. Okay, this diary entry is called "I'll be singing for absolution." 11:54 a.m. Yeah, I was definitely in a IT lesson. Thursday, October the 6th, 2005. Oh, that's just a bit of a lyric. Anyway, I have been a bit less frequent with these entries than I usually am. It's normally like one a day. I haven't really had much to say recently, so a few days have accumulated into one entry. I went out with Tommy yesterday. We've covered this. Went out with Tommy yesterday. He came around my house first to play some guitar. We went over the field. After that, we could play at our leisure because my dad was in the... After that, so that we could play at our leisure because my dad was in the next room. We invited Mark, but he had law work to do. Well, that explains the previous entry. Stayed over there for a good few hours, playing guitar and just generally talking. I hadn't actually talked to Tommy properly before, like I have with other people like Steve, Aaron, obviously Nath, Ben and Mark, because I've known them longer. So it was nice to talk to him. The inevitable conversation came up, and as it seems to whenever we're in a group or with separate people, I don't know why Toss gets mentioned so much. Toss must be prick features. So we had a burger, saw what notes burps would bring up on the guitar tuner. Oh yeah, I remember that. Went back to mine. I burnt him some CDs and he went home. Later that night I went to Kylie's, dropped off her book. We've covered this. I got her on eBay. After that went to Steve's and we looked around the internet looking for sofas and track recorders. We found a track recorder. I don't know about a sofa yet, but we know where to go. Yeah, fucking Mike's house because his mum and dad are throwing some out. We're talking about doing a live session. That should be fun. I talked to Tom about it. I don't remember class calling Tommy Tom, but apparently I did. He seems up for it. Same with Steve, and I'm sure Mark will be. Me and him have been wanting to do another one for a while, but I've not got around to it. And as Steve's room is finished now, he suggested we should do it in here. Now, this makes a bit of sense, actually, this live sessions, because, like, it would be maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time from 10 years ago. That doesn't make any sense. That we started recording Gaze FM. So Gaze FM could have started from the idea of doing a live session. Because we did record Eaton Rifles and we did record... I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so... Anyway, in other news... Oh, hold on. And... as Steve's room is finished now, he's suggested we could do it in his room. That would be good, as it's nice and big. Anyway, in other news, we should hopefully be going out tonight. I ain't got a clue what doing, but hopefully we will go out. Cinema has been mentioned. Depends what is on. Time. Anyway, that will do. Later's potatoes. Okay. That was my P-Sync diary. Anyway, I'm hoping me reading these out isn't an issue, because they're not my diaries I'm reading out. I looked up other people's diaries to see what was going on with them this time 10 years ago. But it shouldn't be a problem because, well, it's published on the internet, so really it shouldn't be a problem. But I might be wrong, who knows. This is Mark's diary. It's called Steve and Running Back from Lakeside. Well, this is the 8th, so this is like a couple of days' time, 10 years ago. I'm really glad Steve me and Steve, this is Mark by the way, I'm really glad me and Steve had a little heart-to-heart last night. It revealed a lot to me. I think it gave an insight into how I used to be and what I've become. Past, present and future mixed together. Or as Matt Bellamy, lead singer of Muse, graciously put, watching the flashbacks entwine, memories I will never find. More reasons why I think Steve will always be one of the greatest blokes you'll ever meet. Lots of love, dude. I'm sure Matt Bellamy didn't write that in that song, but you know. Okay, this is an entry from the Killer Cart Catcher, Stavros Flatley, and it's called "And Here Is the News" with Louis Armstrong. I'm not going to even attempt to do a Louis Armstrong impression, but I'd love to have seen Steve read this with a Louis Armstrong impression. Okay, so this is the 4th. So this is yesterday, 10 years ago. Once again, not been writing entries. I wish I could do an impression of Steve. I can't though. Once again, not been writing entries because I just can't be fucked to write about nothing. Wow. Steve sounding a little bit like me there. He's sounds like something I'd say. I just can't be fucked to write about nothing. But anyway, I do sometimes wonder why we write diaries. Do we use them to communicate to other people or use them to communicate with ourselves? Well, it was kind of like, let me write a secret code and hope that who I'm talking about reads it and understands, instead of just going, alright. Yeah, that's what it was about. In reference, I would like to place this quote. I know people don't like me. Hell, I know it as a fact. I hear the stuff they say about me. It's just that they don't know I know. Mwah ha ha ha. I don't know what that is. See, I'm not actually sure whether that's a quote from one of us or a film, or I don't know. I would also like to place with these words the phrase bollocks and stamoning. Cool. Probably pointing that at most of us because we were a whingy. We were all a whingy bunch, and Steve wasn't really a whingy person. Anyways, my first 6:30 till 10:30 tonight. What day of the week that was? Hold on, so Thursday, Tuesday. Let me just work that out. I've got Thursday the 6th, so it would have been Tuesday. Tuesday 6:30 till 10:30. Whoop-de-doo-dah, he says. And possibly to libs after, ... Slightly more whippy. Whippy? I assume he meant whoopee. I would also like to say pucker Yiddish. Okay, Christy. And then an entry 5 days later, while my guitar gently weeps. This is at 12 in the morning. Work was long and boring. Evening, quite cool and relaxed. Felt relaxed. Ugh, nothing else. There are a few things I should be thinking about. Number 1, UCAS bollocks. Number 2, open days. And number 3, IVA. Being uncultured, un-university educated tosspot, I'm not sure what IVA stands for. It might not mean anything to do with university, but I know that UCAS does. I know what bollocks are. And I assume the open days. In fact, yes, I went on some open days with Steve and Kylie and co. I don't know what IVA stands for, but I'm sure it means that and that. So yeah, so that's a little. I don't know when we going. 17 minutes. Fuck. That's a little bit more of an insight into what I was doing 10 years ago. So I might come back to do more of these. I'm not sure. When I run out of content, I'm sure I'll just do something else along these lines. So I will now pass you over to put you back into part 2 of the Blatella interview. Where did you get, at what point did the company start, and where did the name Blatella come from?
We've been sort of using the name Blatella since about the second year in uni. It was just the name for us and our friends to make films under.
So there were 6 of us.
There were 6 of us.
Formed Blatella Productions.
But we
where did it come from?
We were watching this awful, so unknown B movie, which is called Bugbusters, or
Randy Quaid,
Some Things Never
James
Die.
Doohan,
Katherine Heigl
as like.
Oh no, it's not James Doohan. It's George Takei.
Oh, it's George Takei. Yeah.
And in it, it's about a town that gets taken over by these mutant cockroaches, and in it, George Takei is the scientist trying to figure out what these creatures are, and he runs the DNA through like a sequencer, and the computer just says the species is Blatella, and it just kept repeating it, and it just made us laugh so much. We thought, well, that's a good idea, and because we really like the work of a company called Weta Workshop. They're a New Zealand company that I think Peter Jackson founded, and they do lots of special effects for big films. Weta is a kind of insect, and we thought, oh, well, that kind of works. It made us laugh, and it's also an homage to a company that we really like.
That's cool.
But we officially became a self-employed partnership in December 2012. So it was sort of our unofficial name, and then it became the company name in 2012.
So before that, was it just like Nan Ben? Before it was official, or
essentially, yeah. But we always called ourselves Blatella, Blatella Productions originally, but it wasn't until December 2012 that sort of became our official term, really. But the good thing about the film festival, because we don't take a wage from it, it's purely. It's not quite charitable, it's a community interest company, but everything goes back into the running of the festival. But through that, we met a lot of our first clients as Blatella. So we would meet them for the film festival, and they'd say, oh, so is this your day job? And we'd say, no, actually, we're filmmakers. And from that, we would either get work from that person, or they'd say, oh, I know someone who needs a project. So film festival paid for itself by connecting us to people for our film work.
Okay. So then, 2012, how was work in regards to finances? Was it still on a rise, or was it?
It was rising, but it was a really
struggle,
real slow burn.
And you guys were still living with your parents?
Still living with... No, actually, 4 days after the first film festival, we moved house, and we moved in with Ben's mum, who moved to Westcliff, which was absolutely knackering. I've never been so tired in my entire life, because that first festival ran over a week. We had all the lead up to it, so we were knackered after the film festival, and then we had to pack all of our stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember.
And then move, and that took about a week. And after I'd never been so tired.
What's that road called?
Finchley.
Right, yeah, because when you guys moved here, and you brought me here the first time, literally just as you got the keys or something, I can't remember. Yeah. I'd forgotten that road was called Finchley, because I said, where shall I meet you? And you went, oh, well, meet me at Finchley. And I was like, well, where the fuck's that? And you're like, it's where my mum lives. And I was like, oh yeah. Because I thought it was just like somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But, okay, so film festival went well, and then you moved, and then, so that's getting towards the end of the year.
That was in the sort of early July that we moved in. Right. And after that, things became better work-wise, because we were now living together. So we could sort of essentially get more work done, because we could confer more easily. But it was...
So we sort of set up the joint account for that, sort of for a business account, things like that.
But it was still... we couldn't live really off of what we had. We were still relying quite heavily on our parents to not finance us, but support us. So Ben's mum was very kind not to charge us any rent for living with her. I think both our sets of parents, can see how determined and passionate we are about film. They know that we're going to make it work by hook or by crook. So they're quite happy to keep supporting us in that respect, whereas most parents would say, you're 27, we're going to stop now. But I think they can see that we're so determined that they're behind us all the way.
I think it was about March 2012, we applied for this a job filming a opening of a new building, and we gave them a quote, and it was, I think it's something like 400 or 500 it came to, for a lot of work then. I mean, that same quote now would be a lot more, but we were really charging very little, because we wanted to just get the jobs. And he looked at it and he went, no, I would pay 1,500. He just added 1,000 on. And so we thought, and then they said, oh, we want to pay you half of it up front, which, we invoice when we're done. So we thought, okay, we've got 750 coming our way, we weren't expecting.
So you were trying to hide your, oh great.
Because of that sort of added money we weren't expecting, and we hadn't, accounted for with our expenditure, we bought a new camera. We bought a HD camera for that film, which made it a lot better, and because it was HD, it made us able to get more work. I think in about September that same year, 2012, we bought our second HD camera, so we had two of the same. So we were then able to go out and film twice as much.
Had you updated your computers by then?
Natalie had. I was still using my old one.
Yeah.
Was it a laptop or was it an actual?
No, there was the desktop
iMacs.
ones. Yeah, desktop ones. Yeah.
So, how many upgrades have you gone through computer-wise?
Just
Computer-wise,
two.
yeah.
One essentially, because your first one,
in
my
like
first
5-6
one,
years.
we upgraded last year.
That's pretty
So
good.
yeah, Ben had his Mac since 2008. I got mine 2010. Although mine did have a major malfunction, which is the only reason I got rid of it really. Because originally we planned to upgrade only Ben's. But because mine decided to kick the bucket unexpectedly, we just upgraded both. At the
Well,
same
when
time.
that happened, that was the computer we had all of our wedding planning on. This was about 2 months before our wedding.
Yeah, this was.
And
this
we hadn't
was like
backed it up anywhere.
February 2014, and we were going to get married in
Could it
April.
have? Did it get?
Yeah.
Fortunately, it wasn't the hard drive that went. It was the motherboard.
Right.
So the hard drive wasn't corrupted.
And
So-
someone was able to get off here.
Took it off, put it on hard drive.
Because we use them for the business, we were so cautious about backing up all our business stuff. It's on different hard drives all the time. But we didn't put the same care into our personal stuff.
And we suddenly realised that's got all of our spreadsheets, that's got all of our
Budgets,
and
table
everything
plan.
like that.
Well, it's a lesson learned.
It is. It really is.
Can't get it right till you fuck it up.
Exactly.
Okay. So
So yeah, having 2 HD cameras opened up a lot more work because we could just do a lot more.
let's move towards 2013 then. Early 2013, you live in. Was it Finchley Road?
Yeah,
You said.
actually right.
Anything spectacular? Anything notable of 2013 besides the second festival? Second festival was put back to like September, wasn't it?
Yeah, the second festival was in September. It just fits better in the year that way. It gave us a bit more time in between the festivals to plan it, and it just meant that more people were more likely to come, because June it's a very generally hot sunny month, whereas September it's starting to get a bit colder, so people are more inclined to sit in a dark room and watch some films.
We
Any big jobs?
The big thing that sort of changed for us was in August 2012. We went to Torquay for my friend Oliver's wedding, and it was at a castle, and then the reception they had penguins wandering around, and we looked at
It
that
was
and
a
we were
brilliant
like,
wedding.
at this
it
point
really
we
was.
had been engaged 3 years, and it wasn't. We had no plans on the wedding front, and we came away from that and just went, let's just get married. Let's just get on with it. We're in
Because
our own place now.
We spoke to them, and we found out that it actually didn't cost them as much as it looked like it would have cost them. We were like, actually, we can have a wedding and it still be good and it still look good for not spending silly money. So on the way,
Sort of reminded us that we were engaged because we got so used to it. It'd been about 2 years.
and I think we just thought in our heads it's just going to be too much money. There's no way we can possibly get what we want now. So we'll wait. But that made us think, no, we can do it. Let's just do it. Let's plan a date, plan a budget, and we'll just save. We'll just save however we can, and we'll just do it. And actually, on the way back from that wedding, because we went with Ben's mum, we were all talking about what we could do, and that's where the idea came about to investigate. Because when we were sort of originally planning the wedding, we just assumed we'd be in Grace.
I think
we
we even
hadn't
went to
done
look at Orsett Hall and things like that.
We hadn't done anything since we moved to Southend, and suddenly we thought, well, actually, there's wedding venues around here. And we thought about the Palace Hotel and the Pier, and we suggested a few others, and we thought about what we could theme it as. So really, it's because of Ollie and Jen getting married that we got married when we did, because we were just sort of coasting.
Question for you, and this is obviously impossible because it's not clones of yourselves, but have you looked at your wedding and gone, man, if we were filming someone else's wedding, we would have done this, or are you completely happy with what you got from your wedding from, the photographers?
We'd like to have filmed our own wedding.
Exactly, which is impossible.
If I could have cloned myself, I would have done that. I really wanted a wedding video. Ben didn't, and I wish I had pushed for it. Because we set up a camera, one of our cameras, and got one of our friends to sort of monitor it.
The problem is, I set it up with him before Natalie walked in.
Oh, what's his name? Big dude?
Yeah.
Mark.
And we had the blinds down because we couldn't see Natalie coming up the pier. So I set all the light settings to that. And of course, as soon as the blinds go up, he's stuck on this camera now, which I haven't actually showed him how to adjust the light settings, so it's all very overexposed.
That's my only regret from the wedding, is that we didn't I didn't put my foot down and say, no, I'm going to borrow some money off my parents and we're going to get someone in to film
That's
it.
what makes you guys so unique, right? Say you wanted, like for instance, you had Libby taking pictures, like Holly's taken pictures before. You know, there's people that know how to use an SLR, but there's no one who's got any video camera expertise out of any. Well, you probably know, but I mean, as in some of the Gray's friends or whatever. So that was where you were in a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, no one in our friendship group really could have. We couldn't have given our
unless
cameras
there was
to.
a month's training
exactly,
beforehand.
Yeah, and we just didn't have the time because we were planning the wedding and working, 60 hours a week on the business to pay for it. The only other thing I would have done is have the photographer there for longer, and I would have asked Libby in a more official way to sort of take more photos. I didn't want to sort of take the mick because she is a guest, but her photos are amazing.
Yeah, but like that's her forte.
I know. I should have slipped her some money. Yeah,
it's like saying to me, like, kind of want you to eat some pizza. Is that alright?
Do you mind?
I don't want to take a piss.
Although, I think the fact that we got married then and did what we did was absolutely right, because since then, 2 of our grandparents have passed away. One expectedly, one completely unexpectedly. So the fact that they were both there and very well and had a thoroughly good day.
You got some good pictures as well.
Exactly. I can live without the fact that we didn't get a wedding video because of that. I still would have liked it, and if I get the chance to go back in time, I will borrow some money and get a wedding video.
Holly filmed. Was it Holly? Somebody filmed our first dance.
Holly filmed it, and Jen.
And we've got the ceremony.
Recorded the speeches as well, which
we've got audio of the speeches. I didn't know that.
I've actually got a regret from your wedding, and it's a.
I didn't throw the bouquet at you.
No. There's a photo of, I think it's a photo of you guys, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, and for just my sort of OCD-ness, it's Ollie, me and your brother's slightly taller than me, and if we swapped, it would have been, because it goes, and I look back at the photos, I was like, I wish I was at the end, the short one, because but otherwise, no, the pictures come out amazingly. Yeah. It's just I'm short.
We're still working on the cracking one.
Yeah. I thought you said you were still working on me being short, because it's not going to change.
I don't think we can help you with that.
No. Yeah. We could Photoshop me with long legs.
Could do, yeah.
We could switch you around in the...
Well, you probably could.
It's just the heads,
You could, you probably could.
You're wearing the same clothes, so it's just what we had.
Yeah, so that would be sorted. Oh, right, okay. So, let's get back to Blatella. So we're 2013.
Yeah.
Still got quite a way to go.
So a lot of that year, because we'd planned this, we suddenly had this wedding spark. A lot of 2013 was spent planning our wedding as well. So we had all this going on.
Yeah, and it was still, we were getting frequent work, and we were getting enough work to stay for the wedding, but it still felt a bit slow to us. And I think from where we are now to even just looking back a year, 2 years ago, the amount of work we're getting now is phenomenally more. It's growing exponentially. So 2013 was a good year for us because, as we say, we've got the new cameras and we're living together now, so we can sort of, get work done quicker during the day. But it was also bad in a way because we were essentially working out of our bedroom.
I was going to say, yeah.
It was really claustrophobic because...
Yeah, like you're doing work and you ain't got anywhere to chill, you have to chill in the kitchen or something,
Or when we both chill in the evening, if we want to watch a film, because we've got a projector, and we projected on the opposite wall to our bed, you've got to look over all of the work stuff. You get up in the morning, it's right there on top of you. There's no escape and there's not enough room for the office stuff and your stuff, and it all gets...
So this house has helped?
Completely. 2013 I was working on Flashback all year as well in London. That was sort of 3 days a week.
2 or 3 days a week.
It was the travelling that did that. It was 3 hours there to do 5 hours work and then 3 hours back.
Also,
so 6 hours travelling for 5 hours work 3 times a week.
Well, Ben's out the house. Yes, I get peace and quiet, but also everything's falling on me.
Yeah.
I have to carry the business 3 days a week with Blatella and the film festival.
And of course, March 2013, I spent a month in hospital. So
no, May 2013.
Yeah, it was in his feed stock.
So that was a good year.
Yeah. So there was a lot of pressure on me to keep things going. Although Flashback was a really good opportunity.
It will
pay, and it will pay off. It will be finished.
Have you had any sort of signs or anything in regards to?
I went up there last month. Did a couple more days' work. But
no. In regards to your when you were in hospital?
Sorry. Yeah, I was supposed to have another check last week.
Yeah,
I forgot.
They've taken him off.
Back to February.
They've taken off the medication because in the 2 years that have passed since, there's no sign that anything's wrong with him. So they've taken him off the medication for 6 to 8 months, and then they're going to do another series of tests. And
I was going to say, do you actually want this recorded? Or?
Oh, okay.
That's fine. And then if nothing else is there, then there's no reason for him to keep taking medicine, even as a preventative, because there's nothing wrong with him. There's all the evidence is that it was food poisoning, an infection that just got out of control.
Right.
And there's no long-lasting condition there, which is very good.
I remember you, on the occasions I visited you, I remember you moaning about your socks. You had blood circulation socks on.
Oh,
you were
yeah,
moaning about them.
Yeah, like the flight socks,
yeah.
because it's meant for old people
Yeah.
who are in hospital who don't walk around to stop them getting clots. But he was always up and down.
Also, the reason I was in hospital is because I was getting up every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was never going to sit still for long.
So yeah, he didn't wear them much.
Right, okay, so we're June 2013, you're back. You're back.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. When I come out, I was on steroids. And for 8 weeks from coming home, I had to take 8 the first week. Yeah. I took 8 the first week, then 7, then 6, and 5, and it was just... they have the wrong effect. You think steroids are going to get you all pumped up, but
there are different types of steroids.
Just absolutely shattered. I could barely walk.
So you couldn't lift weights to get a really muscly body.
Even if you wanted to. You couldn't do it even if you wanted to. It was really sweet and sad. Because he came out of hospital and he was well, but we got him up the stairs and we couldn't get him back down because he'd never make it back up because he was so tired. So for the first 2 weeks of being out of hospital, he didn't leave the flat because it was just about getting the energy back, fighting the steroids.
For most of June and some of July, I wasn't really with it.
No.
So yeah,
you were with it mentally, but physically you were still weaning yourself off the steroids.
Yeah, summer 2013, the business sort of slowed because of that. Then yeah, by the end of the year it was running really well. We had a new website built with it all up and running, and I think we changed when did we change our name? We changed it from Blatella Productions to Blatella Films.
I think it was last year sometime.
Yeah, around early 2014.
Yeah, I think it was around February, March time.
Because we just realised that people were saying Blatella Productions, what do you do?
What do you produce?
It's just got to change.
Let's take the ambiguity out of it.
Whereas before, and at this point we had stopped doing graphic design. Before we couldn't just call ourselves Blatella Films because we did graphic design.
Which was only a means to an end. It was only to help prop up our meagre income.
That's sort of £40-50 here and there for a couple of hours.
It wasn't what we wanted to do. We simply did it because we could and we needed to at the time. But as soon as we saw the business going the right way, we thought, no, we don't need to do that. It's too much of a distraction.
Okay. I remember at the beginning of the year, and I don't think it was this year, it might have been 2014, I remember us chatting, and you saying about how things are looking really good, and I can't remember, it might have been 2013 or 14, I can't remember, and it was, you were talking about there was going to be yourselves and a group of other people, and you were all going to put everyone was going to, there was going to be lots of cooks, not spoiling, there was going to be like someone that does weddings, someone that does music, someone that does... No, I don't know. It was a while ago. There was something like that, wasn't it? Was that 2014? Early?
It would have been actually.
Evolved into our new wedding business, Clarity Weddings,
right?
Which is us and a photographer doing the all-inclusive package.
Yeah, we offer basically the benefit that if you hire, because everyone hires a photographer, and most people now hire a film crew to film the wedding. If you hire us, not only are you getting 2 individually great products. But you're getting 2 companies that have worked together, have a very good working friendship together. We work together.
Don't get in each other's way.
We don't get in each other's way on the big day. We work together. There's constant dialogue before, during, and after, and it's just a much smoother relationship because we've worked weddings before, but the photographer gets in the way deliberately or not deliberately. But because we know Chris, the photographer, so well. We know how he works, how we work. He knows to look out for us. We don't have to look out for him because we're always behind him generally anyway. But we can help each other out, and people can hire us individually as well if they want to. It's just a way for us to both advertise our wedding packages either individually or together.
So when that project came about, which is probably when we spoke to you, there was going to be a florist, there was going to be a stationery company.
It was going to be a one-stop shop. But we've changed the plan slightly. For the moment, it's just going to be film and photography.
Okay. So between like January 2014 and the wedding in April, was a lot of that because you were still doing the music thing, wasn't you, in London? Or had you stopped about February, March or something?
I think it was February, March. Yeah, he finally stopped that.
So there was that wedding, and then you were obviously still doing some Blatella stuff without Ben. But because of the wedding on your doorstep, was work still a little bit, because you had so much other stuff, or was it still pretty booming?
No, work was always the priority because that was the thing that was paying for the wedding. So work was always the priority. But after the wedding, it suddenly became clear to us how much spare time we had where we weren't planning the wedding anymore. So we would work throughout the day, and then most of the evenings were looking at wedding stuff and planning it and looking at like the budget. Okay, what have we saved this month, and what have we got left to save, and what do we need to buy? Who do we need to contact?
But that spare time moved because we were offered this house basically. So we for a lot of May and June we were looking at houses, we were looking at places to live, and then of course I think we got it in September. It was finally agreed.
We got the keys on the 4th of September last year, and then we moved in on the 1st of November because there was a lot of aesthetic work that needed doing.
Yes, because your housewarming was technically your birthday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
With the fireworks?
With the fireworks from Adventure Island, yeah.
So, after the wedding, was it the first major out of office for Blatella when you went on your honeymoon?
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks, was it?
2 weeks.
So, did you... We're not in the office at the moment, but please leave a message.
We've got a new out of office thing, which I think you would appreciate.
Yeah.
When we next put it on, which will probably be Christmas.
Tell me to give it a ring, yeah?
Well, it'll be our email. We're gonna. It's gonna say like, "Hello, if you're reading this, then what was it? If you're."
I couldn't get the DeLorean up.
I couldn't get the DeLorean up to 88. Something like it's like a real Back to the Future theme.
It's going to be basically the letter that Doc sends. I'm alive and well in 88.
85.
I will be back on this day.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. But before the honeymoon, because we knew essentially we were going to be out of the office for maybe 3-4 weeks because we got married on the 14th and we weren't flying out to the 21st, and we didn't want to do official work in that week.
We did pick up a job.
We did do a bit of work because we're gluttons for punishment. But so the 3-4 weeks before the wedding, we were working incredibly long days, incredibly long weeks of just getting everything tied up, getting as much done as we could, letting everyone know. Everyone was completely understanding because you can't say, "Oh, I'm going on honeymoon. Well, why? I need my project finished." And our out of office explained it. That we're out of office on our honeymoon and we'll get back to you. Blah blah. So it was a lot of work beforehand to get it ready for us to leave for 2 weeks, and it was a bit of work afterwards. Sort of have to hit the ground running and get it going again.
And then, as Ben said, there was house looking.
Yeah, and in the middle of that, we were trying to find a flat. So yeah, it was a very, very busy period.
So when did that... So let's say end of 2014, you moved in November, then it was solely Blatella. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been like that since?
Yeah.
So between... It's now... September.
I know.
Between... I was going to say... Oh, well, we don't need to talk about 2015. Actually, hold on. It's nearly
it's
over.
Quite a lot of 2015.
Yeah, okay, so 2015 then. So any sort of big things from... between, let's say, the first quarter of the year?
Yeah, we, in March, upgraded all our equipment again.
Again?
We didn't
All
upgrade
new
the
cameras.
computers.
Oh, that's it.
Do you
14,
trade-
we got new computers.
Do you trade them in, or do you keep your old shit, or what?
We've still got the old cameras.
We've still got the first camera we bought. We should sell it or do something with it. We've still got the old cameras, which aren't even that old, as emergencies or extras. We're doing a job in November, and we're going to get in 2 freelance camera people to assist us, basically, just because there's so many angles to cover.
Cool.
So they're good spares, they're good backups, and they're good for just us using as photography cameras. So we wouldn't get rid of them just yet, but we upgraded like loads of sound equipment. We
had
new
quite a lot of
cameras.
investment into it, about £5,000 we spent on new equipment just to go up that next level, and as a result we're able to do a better quality product, so we can charge a bit more, we can get the better quality work coming in.
Yep.
And now we've got a new website meeting them tomorrow to see the first draft of it, but it should be up within a week. And then that's our next stage. And then there's a marketing campaign starting as soon as that's live, which is an email campaign going out to 10,000 or something. So
yeah, because up until now we've not done any advertising ever. We've gone to sort of like networking meetings and business networking events and things like that, and we've joined the Essex Chambers of Commerce.
And I see you. I turned up one day somewhere and you used to sit on a table for the film festival. Where was that? There was this big thing with all the Port of Tilbury was there and DP World was there, and was that Civic Hall in Grays? And there was some sort of fair on, and you had a table with all the film festival stuff.
Oh, that must be.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was probably.
Do you still
the
do those
conference?
Do you still do any of those sort of things where you sit at a table?
We don't need to anymore.
We tend to film things like that, and when we're at them filming them, we just talk to everyone. We usually come away with there. Someone else says, "Oh, yeah." It's all been word of mouth, but now we're starting actual advertising campaigns. We've still got the word of mouth going.
Yeah, but we've hit the limit really of how much work we can actually physically achieve between the two of us in a 7-day period. We are at absolute maximum. Even though we're not planning a wedding anymore or anything like that, we still work like 6-7 days a week, at least 10 hours a day, at least, sometimes more.
Staring at a screen.
Staring at a screen or through a little camera screen.
And then when you're not working, you're watching the screen with the films.
Well, we've got projectors, that helps your eyes a little.
Okay, so let's have a little talk of the near future and the further future. So, off record, you were talking about potentially getting a what's it called? Intern, yeah.
Yeah, we need to start thinking about taking people on because, as I say, we've reached the maximum that we can do as a 2-person crew, and we want to grow the business. We want to not sound greedy. We want to make more money. We want to own our own house. We want to have enough money so that if we want kids, we can actually afford to have them. We want a comfortable lifestyle. So to do that, we need to take on people, and at the moment we're thinking the best way to do that, just for the way the business is at the moment, is probably an intern, or just to have a reliable freelancer that we can throw work to on a pretty regular basis.
That's cool.
It'll be semi-regular at first, but I'm sure once we start throwing all her work and it relieves the pressure on us, we will have the opportunity to get more work because the burden will be spread over 3 people, not 2. And eventually we want to be able to take people on full time, pay them proper salaries, pay us not a proper salary, but like a reliable salary, and eventually have like an office and things like that, and have a real proper business.
That's cool. Nice. One more question. This is off topic. Are you guys thinking of having a 30th birthday party?
Yeah. And
I feel like there's going to be a lot.
I've been really like slack the last couple of years with my birthdays. I've not bothered at all. We're 28 now, and I really want to make a massive deal for my 30th because I think it's a really good opportunity to actually have a big party.
Bouncy Castle Mark III, eh? What?
Well, my mum had a bouncy castle for her. Oh God, how old was she? Like 38 or 39? She had it for one of her sort of late 30s, early 40s birthdays, mainly for the kids that were in attendance. But the adults and the parents did go on it as well.
We are all falling to bits now.
We are a bit. Maybe we'll just lay on it.
Yeah, maybe we'll
get drunk.
Yeah, I think that's the next. Well, obviously it's the next big thing for everyone, but I think we're going to have a year full of 30th parties.
I really hope we do, because it would be like college again, where every other week there was like a massive party.
Yeah.
Because obviously during that period we were all turning 18.
Jesus, the college period was just amazing for parties and stuff. Always, there was always something going on, and if there wasn't, it'd just be the Oak, or we'd go around Mike's house. We'd go and
we need a renaissance of that.
Yeah.
At that time, that wasn't ever our house, was it? So you could have parties.
Exactly.
Now you're like, yeah, I could have people
I don't
around,
really
but
want
I don't really
people
want to clean up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. See, I did. Well, that turned into quite a long episode. Didn't mean it to, but got some good gold on there. Nice bit of 2005 intro there, along with the last bit of the Blatella interview. Very enjoyable doing, and I'd like to do many more if Ben and Nat are around and they want to talk about other things. I have got another Natalie podcast coming up, and I've got a Ben podcast coming up, among others. I've had word from a few people that they might want to, well, not a few people, maybe a person or two, that they might be interested in doing something along the same lines. which would be good. So I'll keep you posted. I won't really announce any of it until it actually gets recorded, because it might never happen. But we'll see. All right, shut up.
Tonight the headphones will deliver the words that I can't say.